been reports of unidentified foreigners flooding Festac town as residents live in fear. This is a very serious issue. Festac town is a residential area in the mainland part of Lagos State, Nigeria, and there are fears over influx of unidentified men, and many of them are disguised as Okada riders. Okada rider is a means of transportation in Lagos, Nigeria, and in some other parts of the world. It's a motorcycle. Petty traders, they also act like petty traders and truck pushers. Probably they are doing all of this, but then these are people that are not identified, as you cannot actually, you won't know where to go to when any crime is committed by these people. At least this is what they appear to be doing during the day. But at night, their mission is beyond the comprehension of the residents in Festac town. Last week, the story is that a motorist in Festac town hit an Okada rider, a motorcycle rider. He was trying to negotiate a turn while signaling with his blinker. Unfortunately, the motorcycle rider was going too fast and he did not know the road signs. Yes, we know accidents do happen, but then that simply shows that this person just picked up a motorbike or came into Nigeria and without knowing the rules and regulation. The result was an accident which damaged both cars, both the motorcycle and the car, and injured both rider and passenger. Before the driver of the car could come out of his car and offer assistance to the injured, about 50 of these motorcycle riders or Okada riders appeared from nowhere and descended on the driver, screaming for his blood and chanting Islamic slogan, Allahu Akbar, and stuff like that. As onlookers stared, the Okada mob beat the driver of the car senseless and damaged his vehicle. He only escaped with his life after he parted with 35,000 naira. Now, in December 2019, a woman was making a turn into her compound when a crazed Okada rider came out of nowhere and ran into her car. When she came out of her car to assess the damage, a mob of Okada riders attacked her, tore her clothes. That's the report. By the time help came from people in the area, her purse, phone has been stolen, and her children watched in horror as their mother was beaten and fondled by hooligan Okada riders. This is becoming a regular occurrence in and around Festac area. Now, question is this: who are these Okada riders? Who are they? Where are they coming from? Where do they come from? Why are there so many of them? How come no one can identify them? Are they Hausa Fulanis? Are they from Niger? Where are they from? Are they from Chad? Where do they sleep at night? These are the questions that a lot of people need to ask themselves, and also, if possible, appeal to the government, as we know what is happening right now, or the police. In the last 1 year, the influx of Northerners parading as commercial bike riders, trash packers, vendors of tomatoes, fruits, vegetables, shoemakers, they call another one tinkers, Garua paper, and other petty items, vendor is so alarming. In fact, there are videos and pictures out there of Hausa Fulanis that sell sugar cane and some of the fruit, apples and the rest of them, using water from the drainage to wash this item to sell to people. It's a terrible thing. These people need to actually, this country needs to break apart. Now, I'm not trying to be tribalistic here, but there are a lot of things that are accepted in the northern part of Nigeria that should not be, but then it is coming down to the southern part of Nigeria, and they don't have this agency. Of course, they do exist, but then you know what it is at the moment. Buhari, Hausa Fulani man, is in power, so it's a terrible thing. There is no health sector, that goes around to checkmate any of these things that are happening. So if you buy any of these things, fruits from an Hausa Fulani, you are doing that at your own risk. You might end up with some diseases that you never, viruses that you've never even thought of. So these men, they come to Lagos in droves and settle wherever with no identification, no address, no documentation. Nobody knows their real names, where they come from, or how to monitor them. They parade around as cart pushers, still, drainage covers and manhole covers, leaving gaping holes in the ground. I don't know. They steal generators, air conditioning units from houses and flats under the guise of bike riders. They rob innocent men and women at night or in the early mornings. You cannot catch them because they have no identity. and no one seems to know where they are coming from. What you may find most alarming is this: they know you, they know where you live and how many children you have, but you know nothing about them because they've been watching you. Most of them are not even Nigerians. That's the point. They come from Niger, Chad. They sleep outside your streets or roam around at night looking for what to steal. Now, someone said they overheard a group of them joking that if any of their members is killed, they will spill blood before anyone knows what's happening. They did not know that the person that was listening to them understands the language that they are actually speaking. If you live in or around Festac area, or this is happening around your area, let us know in the comment section what is really happening. What have you seen? Forward this message. You can use the share button so people can actually be alert. Maybe this will get to the police and get to the authorities. Well, we know that Amotekun is a group that has been created by the southwestern part of Nigeria to handle and deal with what this government does not want to deal with. Now, in fact, no one wants what happened in 1966 and to around 1967 to happen again, because these men all carry weapons and are not just waiting for a signal to use them. Before you know, Boko Haram will invade the south of Nigeria. Let's talk about policemen that might be around that area. What are we talking about? What they do is to impound motorcycles, collect money from them, rather than security that they are supposed to be for. Now someone say that they experienced and saw, they actually saw this, that before their very eyes, a policeman at mile 2 tried to impound a motorcycle for parking on the expressway, and a dozen of this same group of Hausa or Fulani or DJ Chad drew daggers and threatened to stab him and his colleagues. This, they said, happened at mile 2. Now, does that not show that we are in danger? Does that not show that we are in danger? Now, no one is trying to say, we are not trying to talk about being religious bigot and say, okay, because they are Muslims. I don't even think these people understand what Islam is all about. They just take advantage of the idea of Islam. But then some might say that is what Islam is. Islam preaches violence. But that's not the topic for today, as we have Muslims in the southwestern part of Nigeria that have a different mindset and ideology. Yes, we know we have fanatics amongst them, like some groups of them in Ondo State, in Ekiti, that are part of the Murik or something like that. That's a group. They are opposing what is not supposed to be opposed. They are opposing Amotekun, claiming that Amotekun, they are screening them based on religion and all of that. That's because no one wants anyone that has Islamic fanatism inside of him to be part of Amotekun. We don't want Amotekun to become a terrorist organization, and then they begin to have factions. That's not to say there aren't Muslims amongst the ranks and file of Amotekun, but these are people that are ready to go all the way, not these kind of people that might hijack the system. As we trust nobody, religion can be used, for personal gains. Are these Hausa Fulanis? Now, someone here decided to share his own experience, said that these same Hausa Fulanis, no, the point is that the Southerners don't know them. It is difficult for you to know Hausa Fulani or Chad, Niger, and the rest of them. It's so difficult. You don't even know who is who. The Southerners do not know them. Now, someone say an Hausa Fulani did the same thing to them and the wife last month in the same area close to Alaba International Market. That's in Lagos State. They said the Okada rider accused them and wanted to hit them hit their vehicle. And at the end of the day, he was trying to rob them. That's because there is so much influence. Now, that's not to say we don't have Southerners that are involved in crime. Don't get me wrong. We do have them. They are involved in crime and all of those things. But then, what is really happening now is this influx. Some might say, oh, is it because Buhari's and Hausa Fulani? So every crime is now being pointed at Hausa Fulani, as if Hausa Fulani, they are the, originator of crime. No. Crime exists everywhere in the world, but in this case, it has become a kind of crime that they are very bold about it. They are so brazen about it, no shame, no fear, and they are all out there. What is going on? This is a time where these monarchs that like to, go around, shout. This is the time that we expect them to speak. This is the time that they expect them to speak. Unfortunately, we don't know what is really happening right now. Hopefully, this does not become a kind of infiltration of ISWAP, Boko Haram, or some forms of terrorist, as this is the fear of the South. That is what it is for now If you are not a member of this channel, let us grow together by you tapping on the subscription button and the red notification icon bell below. It will alert you whenever videos are uploaded. And if you are already a member of this channel, I say a very big thank you for the support.